Welcome back to the Lemon Factor. I'm Chad, and today we're headed to the dyno with our newest project car, this 2003 Lexus IS300. We haven't done any modifications yet, but that's exactly why we're going to the dyno now, is to set our baseline to find out how much power our car is producing to the wheels before we start adding modifications. And once we add the modifications, we're going to further test the car to see how much power each modification produces, if any. So this is the 5-speed automatic, not the manual transmission. We'll address that later on. I'm going to test the car in manual mode in 4th gear, which is the 1-to-1 ratio. Traction control off, ECT power on, and my guesstimate, based on some information I've seen online, is maybe about 170 wheel horsepower, somewhere around that area. So if you're interested in finding out how much horsepower this totally stock, first generation Lexus IS300 produces, then stay tuned. We ran into some trouble with the automatic transmission. It's really difficult to get it to stay in 4th gear, even in manual, without downshifting, especially when you go into wide open throttle. So the dyno graphs are from 4,000 RPMs up to 6,500, but we tried several dyno pulls in which we even gave it part throttle before 70 miles per hour, and there was no luck. And I just ran out of time. In the future, hopefully we can figure out some way to get some dyno readings, some numbers for under 4,000 RPMs. I'd love to see where the torque comes on, how the power progresses on this car. Good start. Those are some good numbers. Really happy with that. Let's see if we can get some consistency, meaning do a couple more dyno pulls and have the same numbers produced. I really would like to get at least 3 dyno pulls where there are plus or minus 1, maybe 2 wheel horsepower, the same with torque. I will tell you that the dyno that I'm running, I've run all my cars on, I do all my testing on, and it does seem to run a little bit high, but for my purpose of comparing numbers, as long as we're consistent on the dyno and how the dyno is operated, we should be good. But I'm letting you know that because if we do have a little bit higher than what you're used to, it runs just a little high, but it should not deter the fact that we could use it for comparison purposes in the future.
I'd like to take this opportunity to mention our merch store on Etsy. Currently, it includes various designs of shirts based on current project cars, including our 10th gen Honda Accord, our Mark V Toyota GR Supra, and our newest project car, our 1st generation Lexus IS300. We also have various shirts not associated with the project cars, plenty of designs out there. Go take a look, see if there's something you're interested in, because I will be routinely updating the designs, removing some old ones, adding some new ones. So if there is something interested, purchase it now before it's gone. If you'd like to support the channel, please consider purchasing some merch.
after running this, I feel like the car is pretty healthy. The engine is pretty healthy. And that our 0 to 60 times that I tested a couple weeks ago should have been a little bit better. I did test that all automatic when we did the 0 to 60. I think we should retest using manual mode and retest with the ECT power. I don't know if the ECT power is going to add that much, but I think manual mode shifting could actually help a lot with this car. And I'd rather get some new numbers that are more indicative of the power that the car is producing before we add any power modifications and retest it. I think we did a total of like 7 different runs. So runs well, we have our numbers, and we can start modifying the car to see how much power some of those performance parts will add to our car. So with that said, I think we're done for today. I want to thank you very much for joining, and until next time.